What is going on, guys? Matt O'Leary back with another video and some good news if you are a fan of the New York Jets. The Jets are on a list of teams to meet with NFL draft prospect Broderick Jones. The Titans, Patriots, and Jets are all on the table to meet with Broderick Jones, who is an offensive tackle from Georgia. He played the last 2 years as a starting left tackle for the Georgia Bulldogs, an incredible football team over the last 2 years, and he was really, really good, and I think is probably the most realistic option for the New York Jets at pick number 13. That's not to say that there aren't better tackles in this draft class. I think probably Peter Skoronski and Paris Johnson will more than likely both be off the board. I would love if one of those two guys fall to 13. If they're there, you pull the trigger, but if not, I'm imagining that Broderick Jones will be there, and I am more than okay with him being the pick at 13. And I know some people are like, you can't take offensive tackle 3 when wide receiver 1 or insert position here 1 is on the board. And I hate that logic because that's how you end up drafting Muhammad Wilkerson, Quentin Copel, Sheldon Richardson, Leonard Williams, and Quentin Williams in like a 9-year period. That's a really bad way to go into the NFL draft. Yes, obviously BPA does play a little bit of a factor in it, but you can't just ignore needs and just go best player available the whole way down the board. That's silly. And Broderick Jones is a good enough player to be taken in the top 15 and to be selected at 13. He's 6'5", 311 pounds, is 21 years old. He'll turn 22 in May. As I mentioned, he started at left tackle for Georgia each of the last 2 seasons. Over those 2 seasons, he allowed just 2 sacks, 3 hits, and 17 pressures. He's a really, really good pass blocker at this point. He did not allow a single sack in 2022 and only 3 penalties in 2 years. So that's absolutely something that you like to see. He was an all SEC first team player in 2022. I love the athletic upside on him. I think that's one of his biggest things is the upside from the athletic perspective. He's incredibly, incredibly strong. And right now he's a much better pass blocker than he is a run blocker. But I think with his strength and athleticism, that's something that could come along with time. He's still a little on the raw side, which is why he's my OT3, and most people have Peter Skoronski and Paris Johnson ahead of him. But I really like Broderick Jones. I'd be more than thrilled if he was the pick at number 13. My stance for a while has been that the Jets should come away with one of the top 3 tackles in this draft class at pick number 13. And to me, Jones is a no-brainer. Is it chalk? Yeah, it's been one of the more popular mock draft picks because there's teams like Tennessee and Vegas, potentially Chicago, all those teams who could potentially draft a tackle before the Jets are on the clock at pick number 13. But again, I really think that this would be a home run for Joe Douglas. He knows, I mean, everyone who knows anything about Joe Douglas always says he emphasizes the trenches, the offensive and defensive line. Well, he has massive holes or question marks, holes/question marks at center, interior defensive line, and offensive tackle. The question marks one is the offensive tackle because, yes, when healthy, Mekhi Becton has shown that he could be a good player. He hasn't played in 2 years. That is a major, major issue and something that you can't just be like, oh, yeah, that's fine. We're just going to run it back with Mekhi. Max Mitchell, scary blood clot situation last year. Like, that is not ideal. And obviously, they really like Dwayne Brown. They're bringing him back this year as a veteran, but he's approaching 40 years old and had major surgery this offseason. So you have no idea what he's going to be going into this year. So I think it's wise to add more at that position. And to me, Broderick Jones would be perfect here. So I'm excited that these teams, or that they are meeting. This team is meeting with Broderick Jones. What is your take on it? Let me know down below. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you next time.